Have you ever been sitting around thinking about your life and thought to yourself, there has to be more to life than this? If so, then you're in the right place and this is the video for you. Because today I want to have a conversation around lifestyle design. It's a process that I wholeheartedly believe in because it's changed my life and I know that it's changed the lives of many others. So let's get into this video. You may have heard about lifestyle design through the book 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. I believe this came out around 2007-ish, but Tim Ferriss really popularized the idea of lifestyle design. And I encourage you to go check that book out. And while a lot of the principles he talks about in that book, I do agree with, I do have my own definition of lifestyle design. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today. So for me, lifestyle design is a process. It's the process of making intentional decisions about how you want to live your life. And the key word there is intentional, because I think most of us get caught up in the day-to-day, and a lot of our decisions are by default. They're not decisions that we've consciously sat back and thought about, is this the best for me? Is this what I really want? And so the lifestyle design process encourages you to think about your life in 8 key categories. So let's briefly talk about those. So when I talk about lifestyle design, I generally refer to something that I call the wheel of life. And the wheel of life contains 8 categories that I feel are the key categories to building a life that you love. And so the first category is holistic health. And holistic health encompasses physical health, spiritual health, mental health, and emotional health. And I think all of these categories are equally important to your overall standard of health. So in this category within lifestyle design, you want to start thinking about where you rank for each of those areas within holistic health. Are you happy with them? Are there any areas that you would like to improve? And once you dig deep into those areas, then you can start to look at, okay, where am I lacking? And what are some things I can do to make improvements? So the next category is one that we hear about a lot on social media, and that is careers and work. And it's because careers and work take up the majority of most of our lives. So if you're going to be spending 40 plus hours a week, you want the work that you do to be meaningful. Now, I do have some opinions on what that entails, but in general, you want the work that you do to have meaning, to have purpose, but it also has to pay the bills. So I'm going to do a series where we're going to do a deep dive into all of these categories, and then I'll explain a little bit more in depth about careers and work and what you should be thinking about and what moves you can make to move towards a better career or work that you choose to do, because this is a big one. And I know a lot of people right now are very frustrated with their jobs and the way these corporations are treating their employees. And I do not deny that. So if you are feeling discontent with your career or your job or the work that you do, then it's time to put into process some lifestyle design to figure out what can you do to put yourself in a better situation. The next category is friends and family. And this is a particularly difficult category when it comes to lifestyle design because it's very sensitive. We love our friends, we love our family, but sometimes they can be a major cause of our discontent with our life. And that could be for a number of reasons. And so when you think about lifestyle design, you want to drill down and find out what exactly is it that I'm not happy with? Is it truly other people, like friends and family? Or is it me? A lot of times I find that in this category, things, when you're discontented with something, I find that oftentimes it's due to a lack of boundaries. And boundaries, they're very difficult for some people to set with their loved ones. And so you have to look at what is required in your life in order to be as happy as you can be within the framework of your friends and family. Family, sometimes we can't always change or do much about, but there are ways that you can look at your interactions with your family and teaching people how to treat you. And like I said, setting up those boundaries. With friends, sometimes it can be easier, not always though. Some of us have long-term friends. You know, friendships change, lives change. The way that we interact with our friends over time can sometimes change. Values change. And so you want to look at, are the people who are currently in your life, are they serving you? Are they a positive force in your life, or are they bringing you down? And you want to look at the reasons why and start to explore some things that you can do about it if you're not happy with the situation. The next category is community and your physical environment. And I really like this category because you hear a lot of talk about your people and finding your tribe, and that's one of the reasons I'm here on YouTube now, is because I want to find a community that I can relate to and who can relate to me. So it's very important to find those people who really get you, those people who really accept you for who and what you are. And that can be life-changing for people when you really find the person or the group of people, you know, that you can sit back and say, yeah, these are my people. These are my people. The other side of that is the physical environment. So this is one I don't hear a whole lot about, but it's key. It's key to building a life that you love. And I look at this as what's around you. Where do you want to be? You might be somebody who wants to be in the middle of New York, right in Manhattan, and enjoy the hustle and bustle and the people and the grind. And you might love that. You might thrive in that environment. Whereas someone else might be the total opposite. They might need to have a farm, you know, in a rural area in Kansas or Montana. And they want peace and quiet. They want to be out in nature. They want to hear the birds chirping in the morning. And for a lot of people, if there's a mismatch with your value around that and where you currently are, sometimes that alone can make people feel discontented with their life and not understanding how much of an effect that has on you. For example, you hear a lot about the weather being a factor, and it truly is. I'm personally one of those people who I'm really affected by sunlight. I have to have natural light. I could probably never thrive in an area that was consistently gloomy. And I know that about myself. And I know that because I have gone through this process of lifestyle design, and I know what I need to feel at my best every day. So think about what kind of lifestyle you want to live. Where is it? What city is it? What state is it? And these days, what country is it? Because I left the United States years ago. And so the world is your oyster. You can find the environment that you want to live in practically anywhere in the world. But it does take some research. It takes you understanding who you are and what you really want. The next category is fun and recreation. So I believe that most of us need to have more fun in our lives. We get so bogged down with being busy and going to work and doing chores and the grocery store and getting the car fixed and all the things, and we forget to have fun. And fun, as I describe it, is something that you just enjoy doing, whether it brings, value to society or whatever it is. That doesn't matter. What matters is it's something that you like to do. What if you really enjoy working on cars? My father really enjoyed, we called it tinkering. He had his garage and he'd go out there and he'd tinker for hours and hours and hours. And that was his hobby. That's what he loved to do. And so after a hard day's work, we knew where to find him. And so what is that thing for you? Do you like painting? Do you like cooking? Do you like yoga? What is it that you enjoy doing just for the pure enjoyment of doing it? And I think, these days with side hustles and things like that, sometimes the things that we enjoy doing, we're told to monetize them, to make money off them. But there's a time and a place for those types of things. But I do believe everybody needs a genuine hobby that you just do for the fun of it because you enjoy it. I know travel is a big one. A lot of people love to travel. And, travel is one of those things where it can be something that you just enjoy. You like going to different places, seeing different things, learning about different cultures, different landscapes. If you like going to the national parks and things like that. And some people choose to take that a step further, like I mentioned, and monetize that and become travel bloggers or, travel YouTubers and things like that. So you have to decide for yourself what is a hobby that will just be a hobby and what types of things that you enjoy doing that you might want to monetize or, make into a side hustle or something. But I highly encourage you to find something that you like to do just for the sake of doing it. Next, we talk about romantic relationships. And after friends and family, I would say this is the other difficult category because when we look at this category, we are looking at our romantic partner and we are trying to decide, does this relationship still serve me? And this is one that, once you start digging deep, you might find that you need professional help. You need a counselor. You need to talk about some things that have been probably buried deep down if you find yourself unhappy. So this one can be quite sensitive and very difficult for a lot of people. Now, that's if you happen to have a partner. The other side of this is, what if you don't have a partner? What if you're looking for a partner? The same process applies. You will look at your life. You will look at your needs. You will look at what you believe will make you happy and what are your non-negotiables. And you will use that information to go out there and look for a partner who fits the lifestyle that you want to lead. Because if you are that person who wants to live in, Manhattan, it probably won't do you much good to find a partner who wants to live on that farm in rural Montana. You're going to have a mismatch there. So the first key to, I believe, finding a partner that is really suitable for you is to know yourself and to know what you want and to know what you're willing to compromise on and what you're not. What are the non-negotiables? And so knowing yourself on such a deep level will save you a lot of time, a lot of headache, because you'll know exactly what you're looking for and where to go from there. So lifestyle design will fit both sides of the spectrum, whether you're partnered or whether you're looking for a partner. But it is a very difficult category to start to drill down because it's sensitive. It's dealing with matters of the heart. So you have to understand that and be ready to do the difficult work. Next up is personal development. Personal development involves lifelong learning. So what are the things you've always wanted to do? And usually when I talk to women over 40, this comes out all the time because there's so many things that we've put on the back burner because of other obligations in our life. So, people are now reaching a point where they're thinking to themselves, like, I've always wanted to learn a language, or I've always wanted to learn to play the guitar, or I've always wanted to learn to crochet or knit. These things are important in our lives because also as you start to age and as you get older, it's more and more important that you keep your brain stimulated. So you have to continuously learn and evolve. And I don't mean this in a negative, toxic way. I just mean that you find something that, piques your interest and you follow that and see what comes of it. It might be something as simple, like I mentioned, national parks earlier. It might be you going into a national park and discovering something new about a national park that maybe you've been to a number of times. Or if you are traveling, how can you add an element of education to your travels? So this is something that you can think about and just get out there and explore and allow yourself to do the things that you've always wanted to do. And lastly is my favorite, and that is personal finance. And this is my favorite because I've loved personal finance for over 25 years. I have studied it. I've worked in it. I love personal finance. But I believe within lifestyle design, personal finance is the glue. It holds everything together. Because no matter what you want in all of these other categories, when you start to figure out all the key things that will make up your ideal lifestyle, I guarantee you money is going to play a big role in that. So what you want to do is you want to think about your ideal lifestyle, and then what we want to do is figure out a financial plan to make it happen. So we want to dream the dream, and then we want to look realistically at our financial situation and figure out how we can make the two work together. And this is a very important part of lifestyle design because let's be real, like you can want to live in, Midtown Manhattan or whatever it is, but if you don't have the money for that, it's probably not going to happen. So then we have to look at how do you tweak this dream? Do you change the dream of living right in Manhattan? Maybe you can move out to another borough or something like that, or you can move somewhere else entirely that will still be suitable for you. Or do you need to make more money so that you can fund the dream life that you have? So there's many different approaches that you can take to building your ideal lifestyle. And a lot of those, it just takes some strategy. But the key part is, what do you want? That's the first thing that I ask everybody who works with me or who, just has questions and they are expressing, they want to change their life. There's something missing. That's always my question. What do you want? And you'd be surprised that a lot of people don't know. They really don't know because, like I said, they never actually sat down and thought about it and made intentional decisions about the way they want to live their life. So that's what we're going to do here on this channel. Hi, I'm Kimberly. And here we have conversations about financially focused lifestyle design. And through these conversations, I will share information, insight, and inspiration to help you design your ideal lifestyle. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe because I've got a lot more to share with you. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.